I wanted to start doing a few of these videos, kind of story behind the song. I've been doing music since I was pretty young, and probably one of my biggest passions of them all is just simply writing the song. I kind of wanted to go and kind of scale back to how one of my successful songs really changed everything for me. And if you're an independent artist out there and hadn't had a lot of traction or hadn't had a song take off yet, hopefully this video will help you. My name's TJ Cochran. I'm 34 years old, and I'm from a small town called Rome, Georgia. And I've been doing music, like I said, from as long, or I guess as far back as I can remember. I started playing guitar when I was about 12 years old, and for the longest time, when I used to write songs, I used to try to scale back and try to make my songs, sound like other people's songs. There's my son Brantley, he's 5. But I used to always try to make my songs sound like everybody else's songs, which means, if Hardy came out with a new song, I was right there. I was trying my darndest to make it sound like something, he had just released. But anyways, as time went on, and I had a little bit of success early on with a song that I wrote about in my hometown. It's actually called Rome, Georgia. That's what a 5-year-old does. Anyways, that was probably the first bit of success that I had, with a song. And after that, I traveled on the road, had a band, had a 5-piece band, had a keyboard player, bass player, drummer, guitar player, and myself playing acoustic on stage. And anyway, I did that back in, I guess, 2019. But ultimately, I went back to work because, I don't know if you've ever actually played music on the road or tried to do that, but you'll go broke, pretty darn quick. So I quickly got a job and quickly had to start, truly financially supporting my family. And it was a tough road. It was a tough pill for me to swallow, just because of the, mild success that I'd had, being able to do that for a little while. And luckily my wife was supportive enough to help me do it and allow me to do it, I guess you should say. But it did, obviously weigh in on the family, and especially my kids. But I started working, went back to work, and I tell you, it was one of them things where, and I'm sure some of you's in the same boat now. I kind of am too. But you go to work in the morning, and you leave before everybody else gets up, and then you get home, everybody else is in bed, and usually it's time to eat supper, and that's kind of your day. It's just kind of poof, just out the window. And so one night I was on my front porch, and I just started, kind of writing a song, just basically exactly, how I felt. And it was first lyric of the song was, I pay a mortgage on a house that I don't see, and I feed a dog that barely knows me, and those lyrics really resonated with me because it was the truth. I mean, I literally, that's what I did. I paid, I still do, but paid a mortgage on a house that I don't see and feed a dog that barely knows me. And that's pretty powerful, especially. But ultimately, after I wrote that song, everything just kind of, I posted a little sneak peek of it on TikTok, and it just kind of, it did pretty well. And I had all these people's like, we want to hear the rest of the song. We want to hear the rest of the song. And I didn't have the rest of the song. So, and then I contemplated with something that really bothered me a whole lot. And hopefully none of you that hold this against me, but, the name of the song is Blue Collar Ain't Easy. And, we had a farm, and, I dealt cows, and, we did stuff. That wasn't my main source of living. I sell cars for a living. And so, I felt kind of fake, I guess, an aspect of, I wasn't really a blue collar guy, like everyday diehard blue collar guy, but man, I worked a lot of hours, and I'm like, maybe that'll resonate with all these guys for the most part, and even some white collar guys out there, whatever, whatever you may do for a living, it might, or even in the military or whatever it may be, I think everyone can pretty much relate to it. But then right after all that happened, like I said, just it kind of went a little semi-viral, whatever, but it probably wasn't even really viral. But I had a bunch of people messaging me like, "Hey, man, we want to hear the rest of the song. We want to hear the rest of the song." So I was like, okay. So I got home, and I just started really trying to dig back into, what is this? Like, what is this? How can I make this really resonate with everybody across the board? I think everybody with the economy going on right now, or the economy then, um, I think it just kind of bothered everybody a little bit. So I'm like, all right. So I went home and I finished the song and had a friend reach out to my wife. She's like, hey, Tractor Supply is having this little thing. It's, I forgot what it's even called, the Emerging Artist Contest or something like that. She's like, TJ needs to submit a song. So me and my wife were like, all right, what song, to submit to it or whatever. And like I said, I still hadn't finished this song. Still had not finished the song, but it was the most success I'd ever had off anything. So I was like, okay. So I didn't finish the song, but I did go and do a video of the song and submitted it to the contest or whatever. And man, it just took off. It was like a freaking rocket in the sky. I mean, it just kept going, kept going, kept going. And I didn't win the contest. But then I was like, crap. I was working on an album at the time called The Songs They Never Heard, which will be in a separate video or whatever. I'll kind of dig into that some on why it's called that and stuff. But I had not planned on putting this song on the album or anything, but like I had to release it. Like I said, it was popping off. I had to release it. And I'm like, okay. So then I go and I record the song. In the middle of all that, I found a new guy to mix, all my records and all my songs, singles, whatever. New place to record them. And the guy that I was using, that produced the song or whatever, he was amazing too. This other guy, man, he was awesome too. So I'm like, all right, I put them two together, whatever. Anyways, Brandon Ronaldez produced the song, did a fabulous job. Josh Bright stepped in, done the mixing, and played some of the lead guitar. And I'm grateful for both of them guys because, like I said, this song's the most successful song I've ever had. And anyways, I released the song, and I was like, okay, maybe it'll get 1,000 streams. I don't know what happened, guys, but if you're an artist and you're listening to this, don't give up because, like I said, I posted this song, and I didn't spend any money on it as far as promoting it or anything like that. It was directly TikTok and YouTube. I made a music video, released the music video. I think today the music video is sitting around 2 million views or something like that, and the song's sitting somewhere around 5 million total, between Apple, Spotify, and all the music platforms or whatever. But I say all that to say that this song pretty much paid for all the other songs I've recorded since then. And of course, I didn't get rich off of it, but I mean, at the same time, when you're in the music business, or when you're playing music, writing music, all that stuff, it's an expensive hobby to have, and so I'm grateful that, for any of you that's listened to the song, I'm grateful for you as far as that goes, because like I said, you allowed me to record more songs, and like I said, if you're an independent artist or songwriter, I'm over here, I'm still waiting around for the next one to pop off like this one did, but like I said, I've had a lot of success with it, and I just wanted to kind of give you a brief rundown of what kind of the story of the song was, and that's pretty much the story of the song. So if you guys, don't mind giving us a like, share, comment, whatever. Comment down below if there's another song of mine that you listen to that you'd kind of like to hear a little backstory on. I want to post some more of these videos and just kind of share some of the background of this stuff with you guys. And like I said, I don't care if it's what it is. You ask me a question, I'll try my best to answer it. So I love all y'all. And again, thank you so much for all the love and support that you've gave me over the years. And I hope to keep on being able to produce music and put it out and have some stuff for you guys to listen to. So love y'all, and talk to you soon.